What's something that everyone knows is true, but we don't like to admit? Oh, that's a really good question. Okay, so what something is kind of like a something really true, but we don't really want it to admit? Well, there is only one thing that I am actually thinking: death. Yeah, like this is true that ki at some certain time everyone would die. Okay, as a natural way, as a kind of like a something really, I don't know, but everyone could die. Like basically right now I'm recording artifact episode at this moment, tomorrow might be I die. So probably it's a truth. Yeah. And like I don't want to admit it. Okay, let me tell you one thing that the when I almost like I don't know, but sometimes I just like I don't know, it's a very I was so child, maybe so child, like basically almost like a 3-4 साल का हूँगा मैं, या माइट बी 3 4 या 5 साल. And at that time my mother told me that ki um, like uh, like everyone will die eventually. So like I says to my mother that ki like I also die. Then she says, yeah, you also will die. And when I heard that, I thought that ki like I just realized that ki the entire like I don't know, I just lose the confidence and everything that ki like someday I will die. And I was maybe like a age of 4 or 5 maybe. Yeah. And very disappointed. Yeah, I still remember that emotion when I feel. And it's almost like a 25 year ago, and I still experience that emotion. Like I still remember that thing, like what exactly happened at that moment. Somehow we are actually living in a rent house. Okay. And surrounding there is a someone die. And someone neighbor is actually, I don't know who's the person, but he's die. And then me and my family, my mother, we went to his funeral. And then we came back, and I asked this question that ki, why this man dead. My mother says the man is dead because of as a natural death. Okay. And what is a natural death? So my mother says that ki natural death means like that ki like basically somewhere at some certain point a person can die. Person means like which person can die? My mother says everyone can die. Everyone? Yeah, everyone. You, me, everyone will die at some certain point. And I just like I don't know what exactly happened to me. I was like in into the kitchen. I was sitting on the floor, and then I still remember entire thing, dude. How do I supposed to remember that? I was just a age of 5. It's almost like a 25 year ago. I still remember that. And I also remember that ki at that day I was really disappointed. And I told my mother that ki like basically living was really incredible, dying is not really incredible. So I thought that ki marna to, like I don't know, I just very disappointed at that time. Okay. Then my mother told me that ki uh, like don't be disappointed, you have a very big life. Okay, it's really important to you that ki what you will become. Life is not meant to be live and die. Life is meant to be kind of like a live. Sorry, life is meant to be live. Okay. And it's not only live, as also my mother told me is that ki what kind of life you wanted to live. And that life required some sort of a person. Which person are you wanted to be? And I don't know, but this morning my school teacher, they teach a lesson about the astronaut. That ki the astronaut, it's a poem about the astronaut, that ki he is actually go to the space, chand tare वगैरह, like it's just a poem. Okay. And at that time I says to my mother that ki I wanted to become an astronaut. Yeah, and this is the first time I said someone that ki who I wanted to become, and I said astronaut. I don't know what is exactly the astronaut. I thought that ki astronaut is kind of like a going to the space and do stuff like as they mention in the poem. Uh, but yeah, this is the first time. My age was maybe 5 or 6. I don't know. Yeah, and this is the first time I says to my mother that ki I wanted to become an astronaut, and my mother became really happy. Yeah, and that night I slept with my mother very closely, and just like it's a I don't know. My mother is literally happy when I tell her that yeah, I wanted to become astronaut. I don't know where it is story start and where it is end. But yeah, this is kind of like a something really very true fact that people don't really admit. Yeah, people admit that like everyone knows that ki someday will die, but like yeah, it's kind of like a something really that ki I don't know. It's depend on person to person level, whatever it is. But I still not. But there are so many things that people are not really. Uh, okay, let's ask this question to the chat GPT. Okay, so according to chat GPT, it says that one example of something that many people know to be true but may not always like admit is in inevitability of morality. While death is a natural part of the life, it can uncomfortable or distressing for individual to comfort the idea of own morality or morality of loved ones. As a result, yeah, basically they also mention a death. Maybe yeah, probably it's a really good question by the way. Yeah. Next question.